Hi, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Venus retrograde reading for you. Now, Venus retrograde begins on the 22nd of July and it goes to the 3rd of September. Now, I have an exciting announcement to make. I am open to private readings, animal healings, and meditations. So if you are interested, check out my website, daneharttarot.com, and it's also linked in the description box below. Also, if you would like to check out the cards that I'm using, they are also linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this Venus retrograde. Angels and spirit guides show them clearly. Guide this reading and show them clearly. This is the Queen of Cups reverse. So this is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, but this is also love. So we can be having a little bit of a difficult time embracing what we love and what we desire. We can also be having a difficult time with a water sign energy. So just be aware of this. Also be aware that what we love isn't making itself fully known to us. We know the connection, right? We know what we desire, what we want, but really embracing our hearts and moving our hearts forward, Virgo, can be very overwhelming to us. Excuse me. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is blissful reversed. Virgo, we have to have ourselves filled with bliss. That's going to be so important. Bliss, joy, prosperity, success, a sense of being happy, filling ourselves with bliss, asking ourselves, what is our bliss? What is our joy? What makes us happy? That's going to be a very powerful, very big thing for us. So just be aware of that. During this time with Venus going retrograde, we're really being asked, what is our joy? What do we desire? What do we love in life? So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides show me clearly. Okay. Excuse me as I take a sip of water. What's really interesting here is that we have a lot of doubt, but we also have a rebirth from overthinking. But we do have a tendency during this 40-day period from the 22nd of July to the 3rd of September, we have a tendency to doubt ourselves. We also have the 10 of Pentacles coming in, prosperity, success, bounty, abundance, wealth, or what we value as much as money, moving us forward. But again, we're disconnected with our hearts. So that's going to be a big deal because Venus retrograde, if we talk about this astrologically speaking, we haven't had a Venus retrograde in Leo in 8 years. So in almost a decade, we haven't seen this energy. So if we go back a decade, or we go back 8 years, let's go back 8 years because that's correct. Where were we? Where were we in our lives? Love-wise, passion-wise, relationship wise. And it doesn't need to be romantic love, though that's what we think about when we think about Venus, but it can be friendship love. It can be, any sort of relationship that we were in. All relationships link back to Venus. So this is a time of us honoring and us asking, are we honoring ourselves in our relationships? This is a time to reconnect with our hearts and what we deeply desire. It's also a very intense time, but it's not a bad time. Venus retrograde can bring back old flames. People from the past can be coming back into our lives, just like, hey, how are you? Kind of thing. Again, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Now, this can let us heal past wounds. This can also let us move forward in brilliant, fantastic ways, have these connections that are just absolutely lovely. So just be aware of this. Or these connections that's like, oh, well, that door is definitely closed. So be aware of this, Virgo. This is a time to rediscover our individuality and our self worth. It is also a time to reconnect with what's in our heart and get back in touch with our passion in life, what we desire, because we do have a tendency during this time to overthink, overcomplicate, over worry. This can also be a time that really affects our spending habits, okay? We want to feel seen, we want to feel validated. And I really see this as leading us towards big ticket items. I see this more, okay, Virgo, leading us towards, I see it more as big ticket items, but there can be a desire for brand name labels as well. Just something that makes us feel, like, oh, I've made it. Oh, I've made it. I have this. I made it. I have that. We're not going to really feel, I've made it. I have savings. So just be aware of this. Savings, super important. And this is going to be a time where we can feel like, oh, but this is so pretty. And oh, this is so lovely. And oh, this is this. And oh, this is that. So just be aware of that energy. Okay. This can also affect and alter our relationship with beauty, with fashion, with the arts in general, and what we consider really beautiful. Again, we're going to go for being seen, being validated, having other people say, oh, yeah, that's so lovely, instead of us saying, oh, that's exactly what I want. Scandals and hidden love affairs, okay? Those can come out during a Venus retrograde. So just be aware of that. We can be worried about that if we're having a love affair. So just be aware. But this is a time where instead of being kind to ourselves and gently connecting with our hearts, we are letting our mind just kind of run amok. We're overthinking, we're overanalyzing, we're looking at things, we're being a little bit too serious, a little bit too strict, a little bit too rigid. Be aware. Others aren't seeing us this way. They're not seeing our insecurities. They're seeing a mess that we put on. They're seeing either being arrogant or, just being fine and everything's great and you're moving along. So Virgo, if you're struggling and you're wondering why aren't people asking you like are you okay or trying to connect with you, know that they think either you're fine, you have everything under control, or there's an air of aloofness to you, a sense of a standoffishness, almost like stay away. I have to deal with this by myself, sort of air. So just be aware of that. Be aware because if you don't want that, if you want people to come in and talk, we need to connect with our hearts more. We need to be a little bit gentler in our energy around us. So just be aware of that. And if we're saying, you know what, I've asked for help, I've, connected and it's still not coming, we need to look at the sorrow. We need to look at the pain and we need to start connecting with our angels, with our spirit guides, with our breath, ourselves, what we desire. And it's time, it's time to connect. It's time to connect with our hamster wheel of a brain. And this will help us to move forward. So again, there's different energies coming forward because this is a general reading. I want to give you, everything so that you can see which one works for you or how it fits with you and move forward this way because there's just a sense of standoffishness. There's just a sense of feeling overwhelmed and not feeling like I'm getting the support that I need or that people are understanding me. So just know that. Just know that we're a little bit too much in our own heads, but we're also doing a really great job of masking our own insecurities or kind of pushing people away from our own insecurities. With the 10 of Pentacles, this is prosperity, this is success, this is bounty, this is coming together as a community. The apples always signify knowledge for me. And there's a real sense of heightening knowledge, heightening understanding, success, bounty, abundance. How am I moving forward? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that I desire? How am I sharing this? And we're looking at things and we're seeing a conclusion of a cycle financially, or what we value as much as money. We're coming to certain realizations that are opening up the doors, that are leading us forward, that are having us see things in new ways, with new light, with new understanding, with new passion, with new insight. But there's a sense here of success. This Venus retrograde, when it wants us to look at our hearts, it also wants us to ask, what makes me successful? What makes me prosperous? How am I moving forward? There's success that's to be won in the financial area, in the financial arena, or in job promotions, or in starting your own business during this time. But we also have to remember to connect with our heart. That's going to be so important for us, Virgo, because if we don't connect with our heart, if we don't connect with ourselves, we can just feel completely overwhelmed. Remember, our sister sign is Pisces energy. So when I see the water sign coming up here, that can be throwing us off. It can be Pisces energy in our life where we're not finding that we mesh with that as well. This is also the end of Cancer time period, right? The 22nd of July is the last day of Cancer. The 23rd of July is the first day of Leo. And we can find this transition of moving from a water sign energy of being connected with our hearts, being connected with what we love, what we desire, really steeping in our emotions, to moving forward to the fire, the passion, the like look at me energy of Leo to be a little bit overwhelming. And we're poo-pooing our own hearts, we're poo-pooing our own emotions. There is a sense more of concerning ourselves with, well, how does it look? How does this look? How is somebody perceiving this? And that's where a lot of our worry comes from. It's not how am I connecting with this? It's how are people looking at me? Are they laughing at me? Are they doubting me? Are they, frustrated with me type of thing? So just be aware of that. With the Knight of Cups reverse, we're having a hard time moving forward in what we love and what we desire. We're not connecting with our heart chakra, which needs to be acknowledged here. We have the deep green here in the robes as well. And also our anger can come back, can come up or come back. For some of us, it's coming back. It's like, oh wow, I thought I had this under control, but there's a frustration, there's an anger, there's a disappointment that's coming forward. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a very human thing. We all have this happen. And we can have good moments in a day and really frustrated moments in a day. We can have good days, just fully good days, and fully frustrated days. So that's just being human. So don't be too hard on yourself, because you have that tendency during this time here, Virgo. What we're going to see here is I need to rein it in and look at what I love. And I need to not be afraid to connect with my heart, to slow things down, and to ask myself, what do I love? What do I need? What's important to me? What do I desire in my life? With judgment coming forward, okay? Judgment reversed. I'm really seeing here that we feel rather judged. Either we're judging ourselves too much, or we feel rather judged by others. What this is also telling me is that our world is becoming small, not in a bad way, though we can be frustrated with that. We want things to be big and bold and bright and beautiful. But when the world becomes smaller, it's focusing on you. It's saying, what do you need? What do you want? Where do you need to be? What do you desire? What do you love, Virgo? And that's the question. There's the song by the Beatles, right? All you need is love. And wasn't it, I forget who wrote it, that a song that says love is not enough? And both are true. Both are true. So here, when we're looking at things, we're understanding that it's not a simple black or white answer. That's what we as human beings would like. White page, black print, things to be very clear, things to be very laid out, but it's much more complex. There's a part of us that's awakening, but that awakening is being stalled and it can feel overwhelming. But in this Venus retrograde, what Spirit is asking us is, can you turn into yourself and see what you love? Can you turn into yourself and connect with your heart? Do you see what you desire? Do you see what you want? Because there's a cage around us, and we're going to be rising from this cage. This is very much like the death card, the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. A phoenix rising from the cage, from the ashes. But I see us as being caged. And I see us as going through a time where the cage door is open, but like a bird that's always been in that cage, we don't realize it. And that's going to be part of this Venus retrograde, is that we don't realize the door is opening. We don't realize that our heart is asking us to please connect, please see me, please, look at all the different ways we've been hurt, all the different ways we've been overwhelmed, all the setbacks, all the disappointments, all the nastiness that we have been through. And look at how we still stand tall. Look at how we are still powerfully and beautifully here. And this is a time where we take 10 years worth of betrayals, hurts, and disappointments. Almost that 8 years, right? It's close enough to a decade. And we're seeing ourselves rise. We begin with a 10, which is a transformation number. And we end with a 10, which is a transformation number, a completion of a cycle. We're completing things financially and stepping into a whole new arena of success and prosperity and abundance, money or what we value as much as money. And with the 10 of swords, we are again stepping into that arena. And we are finding that what has beaten us down, what has broken our spirits at times, what has made us feel small or insignificant or overlooked, those words, those glances, those sayings we're rising out of. We're not in that cage anymore. And we're not letting those words ping pong in our own head, keeping us from moving forward the way that we need to, the way that we desire within our own lives. There's a sense of taking these swords and taking the pains that once stamped us down, hurt us, broke us, and now they become our weapons. Now they become the fierceness. Now it's the strength. It's like, I am so much more than I ever realized I could be. And that's what this Venus retrograde is teaching us. There's a lot of lessons coming forward. There's a fear of connecting with our emotions and our heart. It will be easier just to hide away from it. It will be easier to say, you know what? The emotions don't matter. It's going to be the head, the mind, the logic, the facts. But what we're going to see, Virgo, is that the emotions matter the most during this time. If we can connect with what we love, we can find ourselves. We can be what we deeply desire. But we have to be led by the heart. And we have to understand that the heart matters. It's not the heart over the mind or the mind over the heart. It's them in harmony with each other, sitting in meditation, but also looking at the anger that we carry and releasing it. Not all at once, because that doesn't happen, but we can be tapping our tailbone, tapping our kidneys, releasing that energy. Do that for 2 minutes, tailbone and kidney energy. It revitalizes us. It keeps us in our passion. This is a time where we move and we get back in touch with our passion for life. So if we do that, that helps us along the way. But also if we just visualize that green light around our liver, that green light, around our heart, connecting with what we love, connecting with what we want, connecting with who we are, releasing all energy that no longer is relevant in our lives, just letting it go back to the universe and saying, I have this clean slate. It doesn't matter our age. I have this clean slate. I am moving forward. Every day, it's my new day. Every day is a celebration for me. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the star reversed. We're afraid of our wishes. We're not in harmony right now with what our soul deeply wishes for and what our soul deeply wants. And this is why we're kind of in discord with our own hearts. So just be aware of this. Be aware that what we're going after and what we say we want isn't in harmony with what we really want. We can also have what we want to be used against us, a sense of a fear around our dreams type of thing. So just be aware of this too. Our subconscious spirit message is confidence. Spirit is saying, walk forward in confidence. You're better, bolder, brighter, more vibrant than you could ever know. Virgo, embrace that. Our subconscious tarot message is Capricorn energy. This is the devil. What are we chained to? What is it that holds us back? Saturn energy, structure, order, rules, top down order. What is it that we're saying it has to be like this? Because it doesn't. The horned one is connecting us again with the wildness. And we're afraid of the wildness. We're afraid of fully connecting with the earth. And that's our sign, right? We're earth sign energy. Fully connecting with the earth is one of the things that we're meant to do. But we have here chains, doubts, fears. These could be addictions, the normal addictions that we think about, and then the addictions that we have that get us praise. It can be eating so healthy. It can be exercising too much. It can be, and doing all these things that are just restrictive to us. But again, it's structure, it's rules, it's order. It's keeping everything in its place at a detriment to letting our heart shine. So just be aware of that. Just be aware that that comes forward. And it doesn't have to be in a big way. It can be in a very small way. But it can also be in a way where it says here, what do I love? What do I desire? What do I want? What am I letting other people tell me I should? It should be like this, it should be like that. That's holding me back. All right. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.